What is going on, everybody? This is your moron with the conscious. I was on a live earlier, and people were talking about the Southern Switch. I want to give you 5 reasons, or a few reasons. I won't say five, but a few reasons why I think that the Southern Switch actually happened. All right, this is Mary McLeod Bethune. I think she's one of the 3 people that literally started the Southern Switch. Now, in 1932, she endorsed Herbert Hoover, but when Roosevelt won, she did a dramatic switch and started flocking to the Democratic Party, just like most black people at the time. Now, she knew a little bit of the Roosevelt, just a little backstory. In 1927, she was invited to a National Council of Women at the house of Sarah Roosevelt. Sarah Roosevelt is the mother of Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was elected to, I think it was New York governor. Yeah, he was going to be soon become New York governor. But anywho, she gets to the spot. They don't want to let her sit anywhere. Sarah Roosevelt personally asked her to sit with her. They become cool ever since. But nevertheless, don't sleep on her. She's a very well-to-do lady. Now, these 2 lovely people are the McDuffies. They were a maid and it was an assistant to Franklin D. Roosevelt. They got in pretty good, and they were kind of like PR for the Roosevelts, and they kind of spoke to the needs of the black community. Y'all should go and look up on Franklin D. Roosevelt's website. It'll break it all down. But she literally went out on a campaign trail for Franklin Roosevelt and the New Deal. She was called now she dubbed herself the self-appointed secretary on colored people's affairs at the time, right? So she went out on the trail and she promoted the New Deal. I'm sorry, flustered. And she promoted the New Deal, guys. And not only did she promote the New Deal, she also had an ear. She had Franklin Roosevelt's ear, and she was able to bring up issues that affected her community. She was a maid. You know, maids weren't available didn't qualify for Social Security benefits. They implemented that thanks to her, and she did something with a gentleman called the Scottsboro Boys, which was a case that 3 black men were done wrong back in the time. Roosevelt partners. So they really had an influence not only on Roosevelt, but the black community, like I said, becoming a kind of PR for Franklin Roosevelt back at the time. Now, in 1936, she even hit the road stump for FDR. Speaking in Midwest City, she usually had to stay with fellow black Democrats since she was not welcome at the segregated local hotels. McDuffie had to influence black voters to embrace a party long associated with Jim Crow policies, including segregation and disenfranchisement. Lizzie's speeches and the victories of the Democrats the following month made her an in-demand speaker moving forward. And in 1940, the Baltimore Afro-American named her one of the 8 Women of the Year. So she was doing her thing. Don't sleep on her. Go and check this stuff out. It's on his website. And of course, my second pivot is LBJ. He signed the Civil Rights Movement. Do we need to say more? And I think that's the culmination of it switching. And basically, after that, black people just voted ideology more so than the party switch. And I know a lot of people like to say the party literally switched like it was a light bulb, and you just said, no, you go to that side, you go to that side. It was the ideologies that switched, and black voters went with the Democrats' ideology because they aligned more with the resources or the things that black people deemed valuable to them at the time. So please, let's stop saying. And I think I just have maybe 1 or 2 more things. But we always bring up, Civil War. But what happened after Reconstruction? How many black senators, Republicans, have they had, or Democrats have they had? I know that's not really major, but that's a key factor to me because senators are so important to getting bills passed. They're kind of the last step before the president signs those bills into effect. So let me ask y'all a question real quick. How many black Republican senators do you think there have been? Let me show you. I'm going to show you how many there have been.
Let me see. Is this Donald Trump. Country! Oh, yeah. That's it. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Folks, I don't want you to get it twisted. The Democrats aren't much better. They've recently had one, but she was technically appointed when Dianne Feinstein could no longer serve in California. Gavin Newsom appointed her, I want to say in 2023. I can't remember her name at the time, but don't get it twisted. It's not much better. But I'm saying since Reconstruction, they've only had one black Republican senator, and as you can see, it is Tim Scott. So that's why I would conclude that the Southern switch has happened, and it's not so much the party doing it, but it's the people switching. That's what counts, right? Where people vote. But that's just my opinion, and who am I? I'm just a moron with a conscience, aka conscious moron. And please let me know what you think of my moronic spill. All right, y'all be good. Peace. Thank y'all so much for the support.